Well, you may have heard about something called critical race theory recently. It's the newest subject up for debate amongst lawmakers. At least 5 states have implemented a law to block it from being taught in public schools, Florida being the very latest. Well, a less harsh version of the same bills passed in other states has now passed here in Tennessee and signed by the governor. If it's taught, the consequences could be as severe as teachers losing state funding. WAT6 On Your Side reporter Jordan Brown joining us now. Talk to lawmakers and a history professor to find out more about this ongoing discussion. Jordan?
Yeah, Bo, it's been a controversial debate. As you said, some states have already passed laws banning critical race theory, with Tennessee doing something very similar. But the thing is, it's not actually taught in Tennessee public schools. So what about this topic has stirred up such a heated debate and made lawmakers pass legislation against it? Conversations about race and its history in our country can be uncomfortable.
It's a stain on our history.
But when debating how it's taught in schools, Tennessee lawmakers have differing opinions on how it should be done.
We don't want history to be taught from a slanted viewpoint.
There is a still dominant narrative of the history of the U.S. as a land of opportunity for everyone. And we have to be truthful about where we really are.
That brings us to the critical race theory debate. It's already been banned in 5 states and heavily debated here in Tennessee. But what is it exactly?
Our critical race theory it's an academic concept. First of all, critical race is an academic concept that is based around the idea that racism is a social construct, but it's more than just simply individual bias or prejudice. It's embedded in legal systems and policies.
Some Tennessee Republicans and Governor Bill Lee agree critical race theory has no place in public schools.
I have a biracial son, and I want to make sure that he knows that there's nothing that holds him back in America because of the color of his skin. And then I also have children who are white, and I don't want them to think because of what happened years ago in America that they're responsible for that.
But some Democratic lawmakers say those opposing critical race theory are misunderstanding what it actually teaches.
The outcome is not to shame or, to have someone feel guilty or feel shame for our past and for our history. I mean, that's not even productive. But what we want to do is for people to understand it. So going forward, we will be aware of it. We can make sure that we don't pass laws or educate or do housing that leaves groups of people, Black people, brown people behind.
Critical race theory isn't taught here in Tennessee, but the fear is that this new bill could have some unintended consequences.
So my worry is that people would interpret this law in such a way that it would prevent them from approaching these very important, although certainly difficult concepts having to do with race in American history or in Tennessee history. But I hope that educators across the state and K-12 level, and certainly at the college level, don't take this as a reason to shy away from these controversial questions.
Now that legislation takes effect on July 1st, and again, the subject is not currently a part of Tennessee public school curriculum. Bo?